was Umar, Dr. Umar. He was saying the disconnect within our own society is between the old and the young. The old generation, they comfortable, they settled, they become complacent within our society. They've earned titles, they've earned careers.
Made
You
it
know what I'm
through the
saying?
storm.
So when it comes time to stand up for what we believe in, they looking at the young life like, hey, settle down. Like, I got too much to lose.
Yep.
And then you got the young life that's out here in the streets. Like, nah, I catch a body for this. I go to jail for this. It is what it is.
Yep.
And until we as a whole get on that same page, bro, ain't nothing gonna shift.
I agree. That's completely facts. But like
Niggas
you
gotta
said,
be willing to die for this.
like you said, a lot of us is greatly disconnected with a great many things. And that's why when you say, once again, go back to your point, when you say, if something was to happen, we are galvanized, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I would
It
like
was-
for
We won't.
let me say I would like
We
for it
won't.
to happen, but
Right.
not after what we just said, not after the factors that we just put out there. That's not going to happen collectively. I think you'll have pockets and small, but I'm thinking on a major, large mass, that's not happening. That's not
Hey,
happening.
I'll
We're
Hey,
selfish
take
to
pockets.
each
I'll
other.
take pockets.
We're selfish to each other. We're highly disrespectful to each other. I mean, on a grand scale. I mean, just on a passing by each other on a social daily. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know, and it comes to sometimes when you do know, but when you don't know, I mean, I get dudes mug you all the time in different little situations that's uncalled for. I mean, it don't turn into no fight, but you can see where if
Okay.
it was, you know,
So I'm gonna use penitentiary stories for example, just to bring my hope home. You feel me?
gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
so you got of course you got different black gangs in there, right? And they rock against each other. They gonna fight against each other, all that good stuff, right? But as soon as there's a actual race war or a race riot inside them walls, niggas don't care if you a blood or whatever. We gonna rock as niggas first. So when there's a common enemy, right? Like that's why I say I feel like it'll be that way up until a certain point, right? But once we realize, as long as I'm fighting you, we all gonna still be hungry. We just dying, like we keep losing, and it's we seeing these other cultures and these other folks surviving and thriving. It may spark our DNA memory and our resilience in order to do something better.
Why haven't it ain't did it now?
Exactly.
Why ain't did it
Snacks.
now?
And another thing, Boog,
Because we got so many enemies influencing our thoughts.
So let me say this, Boog. Let me go
No,
back to
shit.
this. I've heard a lot of
It's
stories
gonna
too,
be
and I got
10
a couple
times worse
partners
than
that's in the
that.
jail. To me, that is so crazy and insane to know that I'm in the jail with Latino gangs, and I'm in the jail with Aryan gangs, and I'm still got black Bloods and Crips. Man, we should dissolve. That should be all dissolved. All of that should be dissolved because those Mexican gangs, they massive. Those Aryans. That's why I don't understand how are we still fighting if we know that we got two other races.
It's systematic, bro.
And we still got separatism. That right there shows me that is insane.
It's systematic, bro. We can't shake what's been embedded against us. They done created this system that we can't shake, bro. We can't shake it. Like, and think about it. And then if we even breaking down like the histories of Bloods and Crips and all that, bro, we was doing good for our neighborhood until the CIA came and infiltrated.
Absolutely.
Once they infiltrated and threw in they sauce, nigga, we ain't been able to get bounced back yet.
And also when we allowed ourselves to
Right
be
about
integrated, and we said, yeah, we're gonna come on and join somebody that we can't be integrated with because
That's what I'm saying.
We're gonna always be lesser integrating with somebody who has wrote the policy, got all the money, and everything else.
Yeah,
got
man.
all the natural resources, got all the universities and colleges. We own everything. So anytime you come to us, you're gonna come to our institution to get
and it's
trained
crazy
by someone that despises you, if you will.
And it's crazy because I'm just reflecting on history because I love history, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just reflecting on history, bro. And they've been using the same tactics forever.
The same one.
They've
They've been
worked.
using the same tactics forever. They turned this tribe against this tribe. You know what I'm saying? Like they've been doing the same stuff forever.
Because it worked.
If
What's
it
up,
ain't
brother
broke,
Talib? What's up, brother Talib?
Brother Talib.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace, brothers. What's going on with y'all, man?
Walaikum
Happening,
salam,
happening.
man. Peace to you.
Man,
yeah,
listen,
it's
man. I
crazy.
don't know what's going on, man. I've been working. I had to take a bunch of stuff, all my flowing back to Home Depot and get something different. So I've been out all night, man, and it just dawned on me. I just sat down. I said, man, let me call brother. Then I thought about it. I said, I think the Zoom on. So it just for the last 10 minutes, I've been trying to log in.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, I sent the email. I don't even know if I text you.
No,
I
that's
called
just
you
me.
earlier too.
That was just me. That's just me not knowing, and being as computer literate as I should be. And I missed your call working. Like I say, I've been working all day on this house, man, doing the floors now.
Well, hey, LG, I got you. I'm gonna make you feel better. I got a lot of computers, and I had to call my son in here just to get my audio right. So you ain't by yourself on that one.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
I talked
saying?
back to him.
Yeah. Hey,
All
just
right, let's ask.
laughing at me.
All right, I want to present the same question up since he wasn't here. Let's throw him the question I just presented earlier, right?
Go ahead, bro.
So hypothetically,
No, you cannot trick girls out their panties. But
man,
anyway.
relax, my God. Hey, man. So for whoever watching, man, I don't know where he getting this tricking girls out their panties talk.
Hey.
I ain't Bill Cosby.
Hey, that dick.
You know
Hey, he makes a mean ramen noodle.
I don't know what this nigga talking about, man. Hey, but check it out. So this is what I presented, man. Hypothetically, US dollar crash, the structure that we familiar with, it crashes. Do you think that'll be a deafening blow, something that dang near slaughter us as a people, or do you think it'll lift a big burden off our shoulders and we'll grow to the level that we should have been at for years?
That's a broad question. I would first say that if the US dollar crashed, I don't think most Black people would be affected in the sense that, it's like, because when things like that occur, we tend to dissociate ourselves. Like when it's a recession or a depression, we like, hey, we already been in a recession and depression, because nothing really ever changes for us. So, for the US dollar to crash, I mean, it got to hit home. So if you mean like the system collapses, like, and this is one of the things I've been telling him, he'll verify that I've been talking about this for years. An African man said something to me, and some years ago, about 5-6 years ago, he said, man, people in America, they real comfortable. He said, what you do when you call the police and they don't show up for 2 days later and say, you call? And then when a blackout occurred or this pandemic occurred and certain things occurred where you seen how people responded in a panic. You seen how people respond because they not prepared spiritually, emotionally, any kind of way, financially, they not prepared. So they respond, they reactionary. They not people, American people in general are very reactionary. That's why we in a 20-year war with a country that never did nothing to us. You understand? So we gotta put it all in context and keep it in perspective. Like if the dollar collapses, I mean, white people gonna be the one. See, I believe it's the beginning of the Walking Dead, and you're gonna see people going from house to house, kicking in and taking stuff from people. They're gonna be taking your resources. They're gonna kick in your door with guns. It's gonna be gangs of them, mobs of them. They're gonna ransack your house. And they're gonna take what they want. Maybe take you, maybe take your life. And what you gonna do when the parade is outside and they all there for you and yours, and it's a parade outside and they going through every house on your block. Okay, and I'm saying this is the possible future because it happened in Sarajevo. It happened when they was in Croatia, when they was trying to exterminate the Muslims there. And what happened was, excuse me, the government collapsed. When Russia collapsed, that began the Serbian-Croatian War, which was really a genocide. And they were attempting to pick up where they left off at before Russia took over. Because see, this war, this beef that Croatia and Russia had was one that was settled because Russia was in control. But as soon as they collapsed, they got right back to trying to exterminate the Muslims. And one of the things we learned from that instance, the reason why they was able to, and the Muslims are a unified group in prison as well. Like I heard the example you gave, and I thought to myself when the race war ride kicked off, the only thing the Muslims be deep, and they be black, white, and Mexican. You hear me? And usually, if we ain't involved in that, they gonna leave them Muslims. They leave the Muslims alone. Muslims got another race altogether in jail, basically, and not bragging or anything. But this is what they. When I was in federal prison, they was like, man, the Muslims got the most bodies. Meaning they you know, like you don't play with them. Like and everybody know, you know, they coming for your body. And if you do something, it ain't nowhere in the country you can go. And they gonna touch you. And when they touch you, everybody step back because they touch you with righteousness. You hear me? And they know they only move with justice. So everybody leave them alone, you know, for the most part. But back to what we were saying about a collapsed society. Even with them being unified group like they are, they was able to basically, you know, run them out of there and exterminate them and kill them and rape their women simply because guess what? In Sarajevo or in Croatia, some Muslims stayed out in Lenexa. Some of them stayed out. Just to give you like a reference, everybody kind of know where Kansas City at. So some of them stayed over in down north. Some of them stayed on. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. None of them stayed in groups. There was no community like in Kansas City. There's an area where you know you're gonna find all the Mexicans. If there's an area where you know you're gonna find all the Asians. And I shouldn't say Mexicans, I should say Latino, because they create a community. We don't have communities. We got neighborhoods. And this is problematic from a military standpoint. This is problematic from a defensive strategy standpoint. This is very, very close to, we in a bad situation, man, defensively. When you start talking up, because I've already like played these scenarios out in my head, what happens, and we not prepared, okay? And we've seen little examples of what happens when some little instance of panic happens and people start, because they don't know what to do, man. People are brain dead and brainwashed through television programming. Okay, they entertained by the frivolous, by the mundane. Okay, so when the stimuli change and you don't have that and now it's survival instincts. They don't have it. We are not prepared to survive. You talking about how do we survive the dollar crash and the system we know no longer works. When you call the police, not only do they not answer, but they're not coming. Then, and and I'm gonna tell you, here go more of a recent, and this is more deep. What happened in Washington with the police? We already got the information that the FBI put out and said that the Klan has infiltrated law enforcement agencies across the country, primarily in the South, but they all throughout the law enforcement agencies, man. Okay, a lot of people not aware that all, like, they created an umbrella group. I forgot the name of it. I was telling them about this here recently. All of the reason why you don't hear a lot about the Ku Klux Klan, the neo-Nazis, and all the different skinheads and all the different groups no more, because during the 90s, they were raided. I don't know if you remember that they had a race riot plot to kill. The FBI stopped this riot where they raided
Yeah,
this.
you talking about like basically the start of it was like
They was gonna assassinate
uh
Jesse
fucking
Jackson, Khalid Muhammad. This was in like 91. No, this was like in
yeah,
92.
yeah. The start of it was the very first Oklahoma City bombing and the Oklahoma City bombings. Like they had a lot to do with that. Those was white terrorists. It wasn't
This was before the
Yeah.
Oklahoma City bombing.
Oklahoma City bombings like 91, 92.
The Oklahoma City bombing is 95, wasn't it?
What? Hold on, I'll look it up.
Look it up right fast. But that group, but that group wanted to say they raided them. They had a plot to assassinate Farrakhan,
Yeah.
Jesse Jackson, and several other prominent Black leaders and stars and athletes to kick off a race war, right? Now, these group, what they did was all those different groups, they came up under an umbrella organization. They unified. It's like 9 of them. They all unified. Now they
It was
like
95. It was 95.
95.
That motherfucker fucked some shit up. My bad. I want you. God damn, I remember this too.
See,
Yeah.
I lived through it.
I was a baby
remember-
when that happened.
I remember when it happened and how
I
it was
remember when it
quiet
happened.
all over. It was quiet like it was
Yeah.
on 9/11. You hear me?
That's fucked up.
So, see, because Clinton was president, and my whole point about bringing that up was just to say that these are instances where they are proactive.
Hey, go down a little bit. I want you to highlight this. The right after 1995 and go on from there. This is what they train.
I can't read none of that.
With an ex-army soldier and security guard named Timothy McVeigh parked and rented a Ryder truck in front of the Alfred P. Murrah Federal building in downtown Oklahoma City. He was about to commit mass murder.
He did commit mass murder.
About to commit mass murder.
But see, do you remember what came? Okay, I don't know if you guys how old you were then, but at that time, immediately after that came out, I'm talking about the day it happened, that week, the news was all over about how it was a federal building, but it was virtually empty. And that the FBI and the CIA knew about the bombing before it happened, and they had called them and told them. That's why there wasn't nobody really in the building.
Like 9/11.
Because they
Oh
already.
no, I got family in Oklahoma that lost friends in that building. So I mean, I guess virtually empty and empty are two different things.
Virtually empty in the sense
Look, the human toll was still more devastating. 168 souls lost.
I was about to say 157, but it was
several hundred more injured. Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
because
At least 300.
Because it cleared when they blew that motherfucker up, when he blew it up, it did not only knock that building down that he blew up, it knocked other buildings down. Like it
Oh,
was
to
a
the
whole
side of it.
More than 300 buildings were
Listen,
damaged
listen,
like
and
them kids
destroyed.
that died,
listen,
bro. And them kids that died, bro. I remember that shit. Them kids that
Yeah,
died,
them
man. They
19
was
children.
because they
That's
had
the
a
part that
daycare
kind of
there.
stuck out to me too.
They had a
they was
daycare.
at daycare. Yeah.
And see, the thing about it was is that what I'm basically getting at is that, man, until we had what they call
Crack
uh,
ass cracker. My
uh,
bad.
until we had what they call an intelligentsia, a think tank of like right now, I heard that they got like black militias and so forth and so on, but really, man, the only way that you gonna, because see, we gotta get outside, and I hate to, I'm just gonna put this out there because I know it's not trending, I know it's not cool, but we gotta get outside of just being black.
And I'm gonna share this right quick. My bad. This is like, I don't know if this is integration or segregation right here though. I was gonna show y'all Kansas City and show me where truth is at.
It starts what?
You see the dots, right? What
Mhm.
color the dots represent. And this is truth right here. This line right here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's concentration, man.
You sure ain't? Oh, okay. Paseo is that close to truth. Never mind.
Yeah. You see, they gentrifying this area. This south right here. They gentrifying that area. All this right here, they're about to gentrify.
Okay, what color is the black area on that?
All green.
And
white,
what's this?
The whites. I'm just showing you how.
Oh, you talk other races and Native Americans, multiracial is the black dots. OG.
Say it again now.
It's other races, Native Americans, I think that says, and multiracial,
multiracial.
yeah.
Okay, and what map? And this a map of what? The world?
Kansas City,
KC.
man. I just remember somebody said something about integration and segregation.
Okay, and what's the green?
Those were the niggas.
That's us.
In Kansas City?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
This is where the blacks stay at, and this is where the whites stay at.
Where the whites stay at?
All in the blue.
Past truce.
Past truce.
West of truce.
Right. But that don't. But that okay. Well,
no, I was just bringing it up. This is to show y'all something, man. I'm just fucking around. I had something.
I like them kind of maps.
Well, I'm about to buy all my shit west of truce.
I like them, but to go back to his question, man. No, we not ready.
I'm off. Go ahead. I'm off.
We not ready, and no, I don't think we got examples, man. We got examples that we not ready, and I think that thinking that we all create false hope, and that's what that is, because I've seen too many examples of people being reactionary as opposed to, see, because that's one, it's clearly reactionary. We all reactionary, man. And until we get engaged in proactive steps, you can't change nothing. Okay? And change is made with your hands. And if you can't do it with your hands, you gotta do it by saying something. And the weakest change is in your heart, because if you can't change it with because sometimes you can't even state nothing, but at least you gotta feel a certain way about it. You at least gotta feel a certain, you got they call them sympathizers, and so at least you gotta sympathize with the cause. You see, so and I foresee, man. I hope I don't see it in my lifetime, but I've seen some things in my lifetime that I never thought I would see. So, I've seen some miracles take place, and some prophecies be fulfilled. That's not no spooked up stuff. There's some real literal stuff, man. And it's like world news, but people don't even know what it is. So I'm seeing the world from a different perspective. And I'm looking at it like, man, just like how when them people was running up in the mall on Black Friday and they stomping over you, they gonna act the same way when it ain't nothing to eat. When it ain't no trucks in it, when it ain't no, it's gonna be like Walking Dead. They're gonna be scavengers. When there ain't no more supply trucks coming in, what you gonna do then? When it ain't no grocery store to go to and it's closed, and then they kick it in.
You think we would stick together more as a people then, or will we fall apart?
We gonna fall apart, man. And the reason why I say we gonna fall apart, I would hope that we wouldn't. But those who, it's just like the numbers are with the women that we hope were not here half naked twerking. Like when you get a girl, you hope she ain't a thought. You hope everybody ain't had her. You hope, you hear me? But then you gotta ignore them. You gotta look at the reality. You understand? And that's, and that's one of them. You know how when you do got one that's like that, and then you don't want to, a lot of times, because that's your girl, you don't want to face that reality. And it's your world, and it's your people, and you don't want to face that reality. But the reality is we engaged in something else. I would hope that we would wake up and be like, man, let's, but we got too bad of an example. And the world gonna be just like it is now. It's gonna be small enclaves of people that's gonna be sticking together. It's gonna be other enclaves of people that's gonna be on some BS. But for the most part, you're gonna see what you're seeing now. But it's gonna be to the extreme. And you got examples of it, of that behavior on Black Friday. You got examples of it all last year when they was bomb rushing the stores. You couldn't find toilet paper nowhere. Amir will tell you, I was going around because people don't even shop at Dollar. People so crazy they don't even shop at Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree was still selling toilet paper for $1, 4 rolls for $1. I was going to buy cases of it and selling it to gas stations. You understand, for $2.50. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I was making money on during the pandemic because people had went to the store. They had not only did they put all the shelves on empty, but even when the shelves weren't empty, everybody hope was gone because the word was out. Ain't no toilet paper. Ain't no toilet paper. Then you would go to a store and ain't no toilet paper there. There ain't no toilet paper here. There ain't no toilet paper there. Then you like, yeah, there ain't no toilet paper.
Yeah, that's crazy. Motherfuckers more worried about wiping their ass than anything.
But that show you what they do in a crisis. See, this is why the military trains you and gets you prepared. This was why Michael Jordan was the best, because he practiced, he was prepared, he was ready, he stayed ready. Then you ain't got to get ready. So that's one of the things that we know is problematic. How we gonna be ready and we gotta get ready? We ain't even ready. So if you ready, you ain't gotta get ready. But hey, time and life ain't waiting on nobody to get ready. So you gotta stay ready, man. And we ain't ready. That's all I'm saying. I don't think we ready. And I'm not speaking like in a negative standpoint. I'm just speaking from the point of reality, man. It's the damn truth. And I don't even remember what the rest of the question detailed, but that right there was all the way on one all, man. We is not ready. And you got to give me examples that we ready. You got to give me proof that we ready. You got to show me some kind of, give me some hope that's based on some facts. Because I would love to have the hope, but when I look at the reality of it, and that's who I am, I'm a person, I like to keep things objective. You know what I'm saying? If you can keep it objective, you can see clearly. But if it's subjective, if it's like, you know, my people can box. You know, Muhammad Ali was the greatest of all time.
Wait, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Can I go through a checklist of ready?
Yes, please.
Okay. So would you say if you had your own land, would that be on the list?
Yes.
All right. So weapons.
2 yeses.
What would be the other major resource would be a source of food. So like major canned goods stock.
Or livestock.
Or livestock. Right?
Yes, yes. That tells me out now that's about as ready as you can get. I wouldn't even,
and also a community.
Yeah, you gotta
strength
have
in
like
numbers.
A David Koresh type compound.
No.
Listen. I say that because you know they actually got a show, and it's a couple of shows about a guy he building a damn fortress, and he training his kids for impending doom. Man, I think it's called Doomsday Preppers.
Mm-hmm.
And these white people are serious.
Yeah, they serious about that shit.
They putting their money where their mouth is. They buying old missile silos. Dude took an old missile silo and rehabbed it for underground.
Man, did you see that? That was crazy.
And it sold out in 24 hours. He had to go buy other ones and start doing it. Now he created an industry. People
that was in Kansas.
Yeah, that's the one in Kansas.
Because that's where all of the missiles are. It's missiles in Missouri. Do you know, like Missouri is on the top 3 hit list for Russia on Russia's
what's the other 2 states?
We get hit before Washington D.C. and New York.
New York's not even a major military.
Exactly.
Arizona and Colorado is 2 other ones.
Yeah, that's where you go. Exactly. If you trying to cripple America, that's where you get.
Now listen. I only used that reference. I said number 3, and I didn't get the other states out because I know what they hold. You understand? And I'm from the old school. We was true. When I say, because don't take this word to mean the wrong way, but we was true patriots in the sense that.
Oh no, I know what you're saying. I honestly get what you're saying. Like y'all honestly lived through some like real war shit. You know what I'm saying?
That you don't talk about, you don't give. I'm talking about like sensitive information. I don't talk about that on broadband. See, we actually don't even understand, man, how. Do you know that right now? Did you see what happened on the news last week? Were they saying that the military, like they got these videos of these objects that's going 11,000 miles an hour?
Yeah, the little
UFO. The UFO deal. Yeah. I seen that.
Yeah.
I seen that. I was making fun of that, man. I was like, coronavirus, not aliens, man.
Now, I don't think that, and no disrespect, but just to touch on what you're saying, I don't think that we're less patriotic than you are, OG. But
I wasn't saying it.
I'm just saying like everything that we know about our government now is not that we're not patriotic. We just question it a little bit more than you guys would have. You know what I'm saying?
No, you misunderstood me. You going in a direction that no. Let me clarify for you. Go further. When I said patriot, and first let me define what I mean by patriotic. patriotic. What I mean in my patriotism, it would be to the Constitution of the United States of America and its principles of freedom, justice, and liberty for all, right? Absent of all the
Bro.
no, listen what I'm saying. Those are principles that they adopted from us. They don't got nothing to do with what George Washington or any of those dudes that signed the Declaration. You understand? I say it's the principle. That's the patriotism. That's what you be a patriot to. The principle. We wasn't being patriots when we went on 9/11 and invaded those countries because
we invaded the wrong country.
We were being reactionary. We were being racist. We were being misled and lied to. We were being manipulated. A lot of stuff was going on, but being patriot. But what they do, they came out with the Patriot Act. You understand? So we trying to. That's what I mean by reference when I say we were real patriots. I mean that you understood what you were fighting for in the sense of the Constitution and its principles. It had nothing to do about supporting American white supremacy and shit. Like I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about the idea, and that's what even in any group or organization that you're a part of, it's got to be something bigger than you. And if you hold to the principles are bigger than us. That's what we are as men. We give principles and rules and regulations. We are the givers of that. Women's are they maintain culture. You understand? That's what culture is maintained and expressed. So as what we gotta hold, a man without principles, and you brother was saying something about the older generations having a square. The square is the 360 degrees. You understand? That you get out, and the circle, your feet is the 360. That's the square. And your other 360 is your head. That's the orb. And that's what the compass and the square represent in Masonic teachings. You understand? It's a compass that makes circles, and it's a square that makes straight and vertical and horizontal lines. So this is what we mean when we say we standing on our square. You gotta have something to stand on, and you got to be real rounded. You can't be rough around the edges. Meaning your square, it gotta be straight cut, cornered. You understand? And it's gotta be a platform. That's the foundation. It's like when you building a building. So no matter how tall you are, and you want to keep that head in the sky and keep it lofty and keep your head up, your feet gotta be firmly planted, right? And your foundation gotta be what? High principles. Your foundation can't be, man, I'm out here trying to get this money. No, your foundation, you gotta have something bigger than you. That's all I'm getting at is that. And until we as a people be like, man, you know what? Can we be ready to fight these people? Man, how you gonna fight these people? We ain't got no common bond. What we fighting for? Now we can fight, but we gotta have a strategic mindset. You gotta take dominion. Who got that? Like brother brought up Dr. Umar. Dr. Umar said we lost the sense for nationhood. With integration, we lost the sense of having the like that's why when the Mexicans come here, they immediately group up and they build a community. When the Asians come here, they build a community. Even when the Jamaicans come here, they build a community. When other peoples come, Black people, Nigerians, they start coming in mass. Next thing you know, they got a little Nigerian restaurant, Nigerian grocery store where they can buy their kind of food that's been shipped in and imported. Then somebody else from their country is bringing it in. Somebody else is running the store. Somebody else is being the accountant. But yeah, they do it like that for real. So we gotta understand that. And until we start demonstrating it more so than the way we have, you know, that's what I be saying. Are we ready? Now, I think it's some hope in the sense that I think that the death of the modern woman is around the corner. And once we beat her upside the head and crush the falsehood in her head, we can resurrect a new head and put it on her body. Now we got control of the culture again, and we can set principles and rules and regulations. Now you got some kind of balance, and you can make progress because it's the root of it is you and your woman, and then it's love between you and them, you and her, and y'all raise a family in love. You understand what I'm saying? And then you start to build them principles and instill them in. And next, before you know it, in 10 years, you got some strong children that's reflecting the light that you done put in them. And they start reflecting it into the world. Then you start finding other children want to gravitate and be around them because they can sense the peace that's on your children. You understand? Then when they come, they see their father and they see their mother and they see the love that they don't have at their home. They want to be there. You understand? These are things that you done experienced in your life. You done seen this in your community. This is how we build on it. We gotta reinforce that. But you have people who intervene and they hate on it. We got to deal with the internal jealousy. We got to deal with a lot of you understand? And the only way something Kevin Samuels say all the time, we need therapy, man. We hurt people. And so we gonna hurt people. We see what we doing to each other right now. What's gonna happen, man, when the police ain't coming? Wait a minute. Here go another one. And I work at gas stations where I used to anyway. And I talked to the police at the last gas station I worked at. He came in one night and he said, man, it's only 5 of us working. I said, you lying to me. He said, no, man, it's 5 of us working for the whole north side of St. Louis. I said, you is lying to me, man. Stop playing. He said, it's 5 cars out there. And we running around trying to answer all these calls. And he say, so we gotta triage because you fighting over with your girl. Do I go to this shoot? Your house is getting robbed, or do I go over here where this beating is being taken? You understand? The stabbing is in progress right now. He said, so we gotta prioritize crime now. And so, like he say, that's why, and Amira testified to this. You could ride around in St. Louis with no license, no insurance, and no plates on your car, and you ain't gonna get stopped. Because now people do that because they know the police not gonna stop you. What happens when they know the police not coming?
Hey, I believe that because y'all hang out at Quick Trips.
You understand what I'm saying? So what
I
happens?
avoid Quick Trips because I know the police gonna be there.
They hang at them.
They don't they don't hang at the ones they don't hang at them here no more. If they did before, I don't be seeing people hanging at them. The police hang out at them.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. That's their spot.
Oh that's
Yeah,
they
I stay away from them motherfuckers.
I went to St. Louis and I can't remember what part it was, but no, they was hanging like it was a corner store.
Wait a minute, listen. If you want to know what it looked like, and I'm gonna give you a prime example. And I told Mir this too about a few years ago. You're gonna see more of what you've seen in Detroit. And you're gonna see more of what you've seen in East St. Louis, or what you see in East St. Louis and Brooklyn, Illinois. And places like that are dying.
Yeah, East St. Louis fucked up.
These major cities though, that they giving black people, where you see black mayors at, like in Cleveland, and so they dying. It's the suburbs that got all the industry and the money. And excuse me, you gotta see, we gotta be able to see how they think. And we really gotta start applying, Sun Tzu's know thy enemy. And you got a big problem because, like Harriet Tubman said, I could have freed more of them, but shit, they didn't even know they were slaves.
Yeah, it is important to start a team, man, to get everybody on the same page. It's a good deal, you know what I'm saying? So
you got listen, look, here go a lesson from your enemy. They move like this Like and I understood what Brother Boogie was saying when he said when it all come down, we sticking together on this level, right? And they doing that every day. They ain't waiting on nothing to come down. You understand what I'm saying? They ain't waiting on nothing to happen. They making it happen, and they sticking together. They on code all the time. And
I mean, I feel like that's the same shit we need to start infusing into our children, man. Because like we so far off, us as a people in our age groups or whatnot, we so far off as trying to connect the pieces, man. I feel like it has to start with, I would say, my generation into moving the next. You know what I'm saying? As the kids that we are raising. You know what I'm saying? And try to get them on board and get them on the same page.
you know how you do that? And this one of them things where it's simple, but we make it complicated. And it become all about commitment and vision. When like me and Amir and a brother named Rashid, we all spoke about it in the sense that our children were the same age. I got daughters and sons. He got daughters and sons. And we like, man, we need to groom them in the sense of being compatible for each other.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? And so like, even if it, and so like, imagine how we all like, we ain't trying to force nothing. You understand? But at the same time, we like, if you groom your children for something, and it don't have to be them, like now it's 4 more of us in the group. And now our children, we like, man, this is what we own. And we trying to keep our kids with each other. Cause see, the thing about it is when your daughter lay down with his son and with any 2 people that lay down, it's really
She
6
takes
people.
the father,
It's 6 people in the bed. It's 6 people in the bed because she bringing her mama and daddy, and he bringing his mama and daddy in the bed with you. In for us, they are the creation of them 2 people individually. You understand? So if you coming from a house where mama is overburdened, domineering, disrespectful, what do you think he gonna get from her? Right? And if he come from a house where the man sit around all day, he don't work, we put you don't know what you getting.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that was asked, and I'm just use this as an example. When Mary showed up with Jesus, they say in the story, the people asked us, what is this baby that you bringing? You come from a good family. Your mother and father are righteous people. See, because out of wedlock marriages and stuff like that, and that type of stuff happened with people who weren't on their job of righteousness. You hear me? Who wasn't standing on their square and maintaining their principles. And that's covered all around the board. Because you understand when you holding your principles that your children got rights over you. And this is something when I speak about rights, I want you to understand when I be talking about patriotism and rights and principles. Rights is like responsibility. Like I got the right to spread freedom of speech, but you got the responsibility not to run into a crowded theater and scream fire. You hear me? So every right comes with a responsibility and a duty to that. You don't just get the right to drive a car and go as fast as you want to. You got to follow rules to keep that, maintain its responsibility. So we all know our rights, but we don't know our responsibilities. It's got to be balanced with that. So we know it's got to be complete, man. It's got to be holistic. And it ain't gonna happen with, I don't know about that. Man, listen. Somehow or another, David Koresh put together a group and a compound, and he was on falsehood. And I done seen it happen too many times where people who be on falsehood doing more than people that be on the truth. Cause they putting it in application. They actually applying it.
Hey, I
That's
got a
why
question.
that when this last thing, and that's why you will see a dude who can't even read and write be a millionaire. Go ahead.
So are you saying that if somebody so happens to have a kid out of wedlock, that somehow they or are either beneath that child or don't have the rights to corral that child?
Say it again now.
Are you saying that having kids out of wedlock is like an abomination? Is my question. Like, are you saying that that's like one of the ultimate problems that we have?
Oh, now that's what I am saying. What I'm saying is that not only is it a problem, but our acceptance of it is a problem. You see?
Okay. Well,
Hey, I'm gonna give y'all a
Hey.
heads up. I'm gonna close it out probably in 10 more minutes. But go ahead.
okay, so everybody that's parents wasn't married that's in this party, raise your hand. I'll start. So
That wasn't married. Yeah.
so I honestly think that it's really about you, bro. Like a motherfucker that will hear like negative shit they whole life about anything is 9 times out of 10 gonna gravitate that way. Like, right? Like my mom was a writer, right? But one thing she never did was diss my dad, right? Like, I met him at a late age because I chose that. You feel me? Like she did it. She did a great job. When I needed to speak with him, I spoke with him. And to be honest with you, I understand why he didn't deal with her. Cool. My mama a little like she'll knock a nigga out type. Like, I get it. Right? You don't want that in your life. Cool. Right? But I don't necessarily think that you're necessarily, because I know motherfucker, like, man, look at the Nunez twins or whatever their name is. Nigga, their parents was married and they smoked their parents.
Brother Kane, listen, and I want you to get this. This is important. First thing, and I won't deal with that what you said on the Nunez brothers thing. That's real problematic. The first thing is, I'm not criticizing or looking down on anybody in any situation. I'm saying that as a group, right?
As a culture.
As a coach, as a group of people, this is the root of our problems. Our problems because before integration, we were 80% married. After integration, we are 80% single parent, head of household, out of wedlock children. The reason why, and I'm using marriage as an example, as opposed to using some kind of other term like long-term commitment or some other thing. I'm saying that family structure is important. I don't necessarily mean that you got to be you ain't even got to go through a ceremony and nothing like that, or go through the courthouse or nothing like that. But that you got the commitment that, hey man, I'm gonna be in my child. See, we ain't got that kind of maturity. First of all, we don't understand the prefix that you should marry before you carry. And I was saying that, and you might have got that from the story with Mary. And the story was that this is what happens out of wedlock marriages come from in our community. They used to send you to another city, another state. You go up north if you was down south. You would go down south if you was up north. And you come back with your little sister 9 months later. You hear me? You come back with your little cousin. You see? Why did we have that? Or why did they do that? You understand? It's a difference between, and I'm on. I don't want to sound all over the place, man, but it's a difference, and it's kind of dealing with the next. I'm gonna run it in together with what you said about the Nunez. You got to watch going to extreme, because those examples, the extreme exceptions to the rule do not, or them, them extreme examples do not disprove the rule. You understand what I'm saying? That do just because, like Chris Rock said, you could drive with your feet. Just because you could do it don't mean you should. You understand? But your rationale is that, okay, we wanna defend and make people feel good and do all that, and I get it. But what I'm saying is, to fix our problem, to fix it, we got to change our thought process and how we think about it and see. Like I said, the real problem is our acceptance of it. Our acceptance of the fact that our community is 80% single parent household, and our women are taking on a masculine role because they done sold out 30 years ago, souped up with the feminist movement, and souped up to join a fight that wasn't even theirs, that they didn't even have a dog in the fight. And now we suffering the repercussions of it. 30 years later, you can raise that kid on your own. The color purple syndrome. That's why right now today, that whole culture got our women, but they don't trust us. We gotta rebuild that. And that's what that's why marriage is important. And that's why it's important that your kids see that you marry. I'm not even living like that. I'm just speaking about the ideal. You understand? I was born out of wedlock as well, but I know that the reality is it would have been better if I had been. And the reason why it was allowed to go on, because it became more and more acceptable. Just like it was a time when you ain't never heard cussing on television. It was a time when you didn't see like they told you, I don't know if you know the history of television, but they wouldn't even show a pregnant woman on television. They wouldn't show a woman certain things, but because they say that if you look at the women, you will see the culture. You will see whether or not if the society gonna fall or not. Because the more debauched they are, the sooner that the society is gonna collapse. And our women are debauched. You understand? They've been relegated to whores. They dress like what they model themselves after strippers and porn stars, man. So this is problematic, but you don't have that when you got a patriarchal, matriarchal, dominant, subordinate relationship going on, and children see that because they understand structure, and that's the first structure that they understand. And they gotta see mother having reverence for their father. They gotta see father being strong, maintaining, you understand, serene, calm. They gotta see him like that. It's important because that's the future. The truth, that really is a true statement. The children are our future. But we also caught up on working on us. We can't fix these adults, man. We can't fix them. But what you can do is do something different for these kids. What you can do is make sure that you understand what I'm saying. We gotta put, because that's our true stock. That's our true investment in the future, man. You really you really not doing nothing unless you building it and leaving it for a legacy. You understand? You leaving inheritance, man. We ain't leaving inheritance. And the reason why is because we don't have the structure in which to even leave one. Women gonna create the birthday party and do all the celebration and the party planning, but we gonna provide all the finance and make sure it get done. That's the balance and the role that we play. The
Yeah, so
problem
we
comes
need
in-
her instead of planning a birthday party to invest in stocks and you know what I'm saying, moving in that direction so we can start creating financial wealth for our kids.
Why we can't get nowhere? Because we got partnerships, and you will never have a partnership on any ship. It's always a captain, and it's a first mate, and it's the crew. You understand? But if we gotta decide which way we going, how fast we should go, should we cast the sails to the east or the west? Should we raise the mast too high or too low? Catch the wind and how we should, is that the North Star or not? We got to debate all this, see, because somebody think they better than me. Somebody think they smarter than me. Even though I've been raised from the womb to be the captain. You hear me? Somebody just told you yesterday, you know what? You probably could be a captain too. You ain't really supposed to be the first mate. You supposed to be the captain. If the captain wasn't here, you know you would be the captain.
Most definitely. We about to close out. And
They call that mutiny. They call that mutiny, brother.
Fact. Sir, yes, sir. We about to go ahead and close it on out, man. We appreciate everybody coming by, man. Make sure y'all hit the like button, notification bell, subscribe in any order that you choose, man. Go ahead and help the cause, man. And trust, we'll be right back at it again, man, on another given bat time, on another given bat day. You know what I'm saying? To make this shit
Hey,
happen.
make sure y'all share that too.
Yeah, make sure you share it. Comments are appreciated, man. And if you got an idea for a topic that y'all want to share with us, that y'all want us to touch on and whatnot, please put it in the comments section, man. We'll look over it and we'll give it some thought and probably do it. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you do that though, man. But other than that, man, we appreciate y'all for joining us, man. And from us to y'all, man, peace and love for real. We out.